First contact and rising tensions. The vast expanse of space stretched out before Captain Alina Reyes as she stood on the bridge of the UES Horizon, Earth's first faster-than-light capable starship. The excitement of humanity's first official contact with alien life thrummed through her veins, a mix of anticipation and nervousness that she knew was shared by every member of her crew. "Captain, we're approaching the coordinates for the Galactic Council meeting point," Lieutenant Sarah Chen reported from her station at navigation. Alina nodded, her dark eyes fixed on the main view screen. "Maintain course and speed. Let's make a good first impression." As if on cue, a shimmer of light appeared in the distance, quickly resolving into a massive structure that dwarfed the horizon. The space station was a marvel of engineering, its gleaming spires and curved surfaces unlike anything humanity had ever created. "My God," whispered Commander Jack Harper, Alina's second-in-command. "It's beautiful." Alina allowed herself a small smile. "That it is, Jack. But remember, we're here to represent Earth. Stay sharp." As the horizon drew closer to the station, a dozen alien ships of various designs came into view. Some were sleek and predatory, while others were bulbous and organic-looking. The diversity was staggering, a clear indication of the complex interstellar community they were about to join. A chime sounded from the communications console. "Captain, we're receiving a transmission from the station," reported Communications Officer Zara Okoro. "Put it through," Alina ordered, straightening her uniform. The view screen flickered, revealing a being that looked almost like a cross between a human and a tree. Its bark-like skin was a deep mahogany, and its eyes glowed with an inner light. "Greetings, humans of Earth," the alien said, its voice resonant and warm. "I am Arbor, Chief Liaison of the Galactic Council. On behalf of the hundreds of species that make up our community, I welcome you to Nexus Station." Alina stepped forward, her voice clear and confident. "Thank you, Chief Liaison Arbor. I am Captain Alina Reyes of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We come in peace and friendship, eager to join the galactic community." Arbor's branches rustled in what Alina hoped was a sign of approval. "Your arrival has been long anticipated, Captain Reyes. Please dock your vessel at Bay 17, and we will begin the formal introductions and orientations." As the transmission ended, Alina turned to her crew. "Well, people, this is it. The moment humanity has been waiting for. Let's make Earth proud." The next few days were a whirlwind of meetings, introductions, and cultural exchanges. Alina and her team met representatives from dozens of alien species, each with their own unique biology, culture, and technological specialties. The Zorax, a race of silicon-based life forms, were particularly interested in Earth's computer technology. The Aquarians, beings of living water, were fascinated by humanity's adaptation to life on land. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. During a council session on the third day, Alina noticed tensions rising between several species. The Volcran, a warlike race with exoskeletons that looked like living armor, seemed particularly agitated. "The attacks on our outer colonies cannot be ignored," the Volcran representative bellowed, his voice like grinding stone. "While we sit here and debate, our people are dying." Arbor raised his branches in a calming gesture. "Ambassador Cathrak, we understand your concern. The Council is investigating these attacks and will take appropriate action once we have more information." Cathrak's exoskeleton bristled with spines. "Investigation. We need action. If the Council won't protect us, we'll do it ourselves." As murmurs of agreement and disagreement rippled through the chamber, Alina leaned over to Jack. "What do you make of this?" she whispered. Jack's brow furrowed. "Sounds like we've walked into the middle of an ongoing crisis. These attacks could destabilize the entire region." Alina nodded, her mind racing. Earth was new to the galactic stage, but perhaps they could offer a fresh perspective. She stood, drawing the attention of the assembled aliens. "If I may, honored representatives," she began, her voice steady. "Earth may be new to your community, but we have a long history of conflict resolution and defensive strategies. Perhaps we could offer our assistance in this matter." The chamber fell silent, all eyes turning to the human delegation. Arbor's glowing eyes seemed to brighten. "An intriguing offer, Captain Reyes. What exactly did you have in mind?" Elena took a deep breath. This was it, a chance for humanity to prove its worth to the galactic community. On Earth, we have a concept called a Dreadnought, a powerful warship designed not just for combat, but as a deterrent to war itself. With the Council's permission and cooperation, we could construct such a vessel, one that combines the best technologies of all our species. It would serve not as a weapon of aggression, but as a shield for all peaceful worlds in the galaxy. The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices. Some species seemed intrigued, others skeptical, and a few, like the Volcran, looked outright hostile. "Preposterous," Cathrak roared. "You expect us to believe that your primitive species could create a ship more powerful than our own?" Elena stood her ground. "We don't claim superiority, Ambassador. We offer collaboration. Humanity's strength lies not in our technology alone, but in our ability to innovate, to think outside the box. Give us a chance, and we'll show you what we can do." As the debate raged on, Elena could see the seeds of possibility taking root. Some species were nodding in agreement, while others engaged in heated discussions with their neighbors. It was a start, a foot in the door for humanity to make its mark on the galactic stage. Back on the horizon, Elena gazed out at the stars, her mind filled with visions of the massive ship they might create. It would be more than just a vessel. It would be a symbol of unity, a beacon of hope in a troubled galaxy. "You really think we can pull this off?" Jack asked, joining her at the viewport. Elena turned to him, a determined smile on her face. "I do. It won't be easy, and we'll face plenty of obstacles along the way. But this is our chance, Jack. Our chance to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." As they stood there, looking out at the infinite possibilities that lay before them, neither Elena nor Jack could have imagined the challenges and triumphs that awaited them. The journey to build humanity's first galactic dreadnought had begun, and with it, a new chapter in the history of Earth and the entire Galactic Council. The Dreadnought Unveiling. The massive shipyard orbiting Jupiter buzzed with activity. Swarms of construction drones flitted about like metallic fireflies, their precision lasers cutting and welding enormous plates of advanced alloys. At the center of this organized chaos loomed a colossal shape, still largely obscured by scaffolding and energy fields. Captain Elena Reyes stood on an observation deck, her eyes fixed on the work in progress. 2 years had passed since that fateful meeting at Nexus Station. 2 years of negotiations, planning, and now frantic construction. "Impressive, isn't it?" a gravelly voice said beside her. Elena turned to see Ambassador Cathrak of the Volcran, his crystalline exoskeleton glinting in the starlight. "Ambassador," Elena nodded respectfully. "I'm glad you could join us for this inspection." Cathrak's compound eyes studied the construction site. "When your people proposed this Dreadnought, I was skeptical. I still am. But I must admit, the scale of your ambition is noteworthy." Elena allowed herself a small smile. Winning over the initially hostile Volcran had been a major diplomatic coup. "We appreciate your support, Ambassador. This ship represents the best of what all our species can achieve together." As if on cue, a group of Zorax engineers floated by, their silicon-based bodies perfectly adapted for Zerog work. They were chattering excitedly with human technicians about the latest improvements to the ship's quantum computers. "Captain Reyes," her comm unit chirped, "you're needed in the main engineering bay. We're ready for the core integration." "Excuse me, Ambassador," Elena said. "Duty calls." Cathrak waved a crystalline appendage. "Of course. I look forward to seeing if this vessel lives up to its promise." Elena made her way through the labyrinthine interior of the half-completed ship, marveling at how seamlessly alien and human technologies were being merged. In the engineering bay, she found Commander Jack Harper deep in discussion with Chief Engineer Zora Okoro and a holographic representation of Arbor. "Ah, Captain," Arbor's hologram flickered. "We were just discussing the final integration of the Aquarian plasma core." Zora's eyes were bright with excitement. "Captain, this is it. Once we bring the core online, we'll have power levels that exceed anything in known space. The applications are, well, they're beyond anything we've imagined." Elena nodded, feeling the weight of the moment. "Let's do it." The next hour was tense, filled with technical jargon and careful adjustments. Elena watched as her crew, along with their alien counterparts, worked in perfect harmony. Finally, with a low hum that seemed to resonate through the very fabric of space-time, the core came online. "Power levels stable," Zara reported, her voice filled with awe. "We did it. We actually did it." Cheers erupted throughout the ship, alien and human voices mingling in celebration. Elena felt a swell of pride. This was more than just a technological achievement. It was proof that different species could work together to create something truly extraordinary. The months that followed were a blur of system checks, weapons tests, and diplomatic negotiations. Finally, the day of the official unveiling arrived. The shipyard was now crowded with vessels from every member species of the Galactic Council, all eager to see the result of this unprecedented collaboration. Elena stood on the bridge of the completed Dreadnought, now christened the UES Unity. The name had been chosen carefully, a symbol of the ship's origin and purpose. Around her, the bridge crew, a mix of humans and aliens, manned their stations with practiced efficiency. "All systems green, Captain," Jack reported from his position at Ops. "We're ready for departure." Elena took a deep breath. "Helm, take us out. Nice and easy." With a grace that belied its enormous size, the Unity slipped free of its scaffolding. As it emerged into open space, gasps of awe echoed across every communication channel. The Unity was a sight to behold. Its sleek lines hinted at terrifying speed, while its heavily armored hull promised incredible durability. Weapons emplacements dotted its surface, a mix of human ballistic technology and energy weapons from a dozen alien species. But most impressive was the soft blue glow that emanated from within the ship, a visual representation of the immense power at its core. "By the eternal void," Kithrak's voice came over the comm. "You actually did it." Arbor's calm tones followed. "Truly remarkable, Captain Reyes. The Unity is a testament to what we can achieve when we work together." Elena allowed herself a moment of pride before focusing on the task at hand. "Thank you all. But now, let's show you what this ship can really do." What followed was a series of demonstrations that left the observing aliens stunned. The Unity's speed and maneuverability rivaled ships a fraction of its size. Its weapon systems obliterated test targets with terrifying efficiency, but most impressive was its defensive capabilities. When a barrage of weapons fire from the assembled alien ships, a pre-arranged test, washed over the Unity's shields, the great ship barely shuddered. The energy was absorbed, redirected, and in some cases, sent back at the attackers in harmless, glittering displays. As the demonstrations concluded, a stunned silence fell over the assembled fleet. Then, slowly, messages of congratulations and awe began to pour in. Species that had been skeptical of humanity's capabilities were now clamoring for closer ties and technology exchanges. In the midst of the celebration, an urgent message cut through the chatter. Elena's blood ran cold as she read the report. A major Galactic Council world, Telos Prime, was under attack by an unknown force. The mysterious raiders that had been plaguing the outer colonies had grown bold, striking at the heart of Council space. All eyes turned to the Unity. The ship had been built for just such a crisis. But was it truly ready? Elena looked around at her crew, saw the determination in their eyes, human and alien alike. "Unity to Galactic Council," she said, her voice steady. "We stand ready to assist. Please provide coordinates for Telos Prime." As the Unity prepared for its first real combat mission, Alina couldn't help but feel a mix of anticipation and dread. The ship had performed beautifully in tests, but war was unpredictable. Would their creation be the shield they had promised, or would it fall short when it mattered most? One thing was certain: the galaxy was about to witness the true power of human ingenuity and interspecies cooperation. As the Unity engaged its FTL drive, disappearing in a flash of blue light, Alina steeled herself for the challenges ahead. The real test of the Unity, and of humanity's place in the galaxy, was about to begin. Crisis and call to action. The UES Unity dropped out of FTL on the outskirts of the Telos system, its sensors immediately coming alive with data. Captain Alina Reyes stood at the center of the bridge, her face grim as she took in the tactical hologram hovering before her. "Status report," she ordered, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding on the display. Commander Jack Harper's fingers flew over his console. "It's worse than we thought, Captain. The attack on Telos Prime isn't just a raid. It's a full-scale invasion. We're detecting over 100 enemy ships in orbit, and ground forces have already landed in the capital city." Alina's jaw tightened. This was far beyond anything they had anticipated. The Unity was powerful, but could one ship, even one as advanced as theirs, turn the tide of an entire invasion? "Any word from the Galactic Council fleet?" she asked. Communications officer Zara Okoro shook her head. "They're scrambling ships from nearby systems, Captain, but the closest reinforcements are still hours away. We're the only help Telos Prime has right now." A tense silence fell over the bridge. Every crew member, human and alien alike, knew what was at stake. This wasn't just about saving Telos Prime. It was about proving that the Unity, and by extension humanity, could be the shield the galaxy needed. Alina took a deep breath. "All right, people. This is what we've trained for. Tactical, analyze the enemy ships. I want to know everything. Their capabilities, weaknesses, anything we can exploit. Helm, plot an approach vector that keeps us out of their main firing lines. Comms, try to establish contact with any surviving Telosian defense forces." As her crew sprang into action, Alina turned to the holographic representation of Arbor that had materialized beside her. The liaison's usually calm demeanor was marred by obvious concern. "Captain Reyes," Arbor said, his branches quivering slightly, "the Council is in an uproar. Many are questioning the wisdom of sending the Unity into battle so soon after its completion. Some fear we may lose our most powerful asset before it has a chance to make a difference." Alina met Arbor's glowing eyes with a steely gaze. "With all due respect, liaison, we don't have time for the Council's doubts. Every moment we delay, more innocent lives are lost. The Unity was built for this very purpose. We're going in." Arbor studied her for a moment, then nodded. "Very well, Captain. The Council has granted you full autonomy in this operation. The fate of Telos Prime, and perhaps the stability of the entire sector, rests in your hands. Good luck." As Arbor's hologram faded, Alina turned back to the tactical display. The enemy fleet was arranged in a standard invasion formation, with heavy cruisers providing cover for troop transports and bombardment ships. But there was something off about their movements, a pattern she couldn't quite place. "Jack," she called out, "do these attack patterns look familiar to you?" The commander frowned, studying the display. "Now that you mention it, there's something almost predictable about their maneuvers. It's as if they're automated," Alina finished, "like they're following pre-programmed routines rather than adapting to the situation." A chill ran down her spine as the implications sank in. If these ships were automated, it could explain how the attackers had amassed such a large fleet without being detected. But it also meant they were dealing with an enemy unlike anything the galaxy had faced before. "New plan," Alina announced. "If these ships are automated, they'll have a central control system. Find it, and we might be able to shut down the entire fleet at once." The next hour was a frantic race against time. As the Unity approached Telos Prime, its advanced sensors probed the enemy fleet, searching for the telltale signs of a command and control ship. Meanwhile, the Dreadnought's powerful shields were put to the test, deflecting a constant barrage of enemy fire. "Captain," Zora called out suddenly, "I'm picking up a transmission from the surface. It's from the Telosian Defense Headquarters." "Put it through," Alina ordered. A hologram flickered to life, showing a battered-looking Telosian officer. The alien's iridescent scales were dulled with dust and grime, and one of its 4 eyes was swollen shut. "This is General Vex of Telos Prime," the alien said, its voice trained. "Unknown vessel. Identify yourself." Alina stepped forward. "General, this is Captain Alina Reyes of the UES Unity. We're here to help." Relief washed over the general's face. "Captain Reyes, your arrival is most timely. Our defenses are on the verge of collapse. We've detected some kind of control ship in high orbit, but we lack the firepower to reach it." "Understood, General," Alina replied. "Hold out a little longer. We'll take care of that control ship." As the transmission ended, Alina turned to her tactical officer. "You heard the General. Find me that control ship." The Unity surged forward, its advanced propulsion systems allowing it to weave through the enemy formation with unexpected agility for a ship of its size. Enemy fire intensified, but the Dreadnought's shields held firm, the Aquarian plasma core providing seemingly limitless energy. "There," Jack shouted, pointing at the tactical display. "That ship at the edge of the formation. Its energy signature is off the charts." Alina narrowed her eyes at the indicated vessel. It was larger than the others, with a design that seemed to incorporate elements from various species technologies. "That's our target. All power to forward shields. Weapons, prepare to fire everything we've got." The Unity's main guns, a devastating combination of human railgun technology and alien energy weapons, came to life. The ship shuddered as it unleashed a barrage that lit up space like a newborn star. For a moment, it seemed as though even this wouldn't be enough. The enemy control ship's shields flared brightly, holding against the onslaught. But then, with a silent flash, they collapsed. The control ship broke apart, secondary explosions rippling along its hull. Almost immediately, the rest of the enemy fleet fell into disarray. Ships collided with one another or drifted aimlessly, their guiding intelligence suddenly gone. A cheer went up on the Unity's bridge, but Alina knew their job wasn't finished. "Tactical, target those troop transports. We need to stop any more ground forces from landing. Comms, contact General Vex. Tell the Telosians to prepare for a counterattack." As the Unity methodically disabled the remaining enemy ships, Alina allowed herself a moment of reflection. They had done it. Against overwhelming odds, they had turned the tide of battle and saved Telos Prime. But this victory had also raised disturbing questions. Who was behind this attack? And what did it mean for the future of the galaxy? One thing was certain. The UES Unity had proven its worth beyond any doubt. As the ship moved to support the Telosian ground forces, Alina knew that this was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first steps onto the galactic stage, and the universe would never be the same. Aftermath and revelations. The UES Unity hung in orbit above Telos Prime, its imposing silhouette a reassuring presence for the planet's inhabitants below. On the bridge, Captain Alina Reyes stood before a holographic display, surveying the aftermath of the battle. Debris from the destroyed enemy ships littered the orbital lanes, while on the planet's surface, the last pockets of resistance were being mopped up by Telosian forces with support from Unity's precision orbital strikes. "Status report," Alina called out, her voice tinged with fatigue from the grueling hours of combat. Commander Jack Harper looked up from his console. "The situation on the ground is under control, Captain. General Vex reports that the remaining enemy forces are surrendering en masse. It seems without their command ship, they're completely disoriented." Alina nodded, a frown creasing her brow. "Any progress on identifying these attackers?" "That's complicated," Jack replied, his expression troubled. "We've managed to capture some intact enemy units, both ships and ground forces. But Captain, well, you should see for yourself." With a wave of his hand, Jack brought up a new hologram. Alina's eyes widened as she took in the image of what appeared to be a robotic construct. Its design was like nothing she had ever seen, a seamless blend of organic curves and sharp mechanical edges. "Is that some kind of AI?" Alina asked, her voice hushed. "Not exactly," came a new voice. Dr. Ava Chin, the Unity's chief xenobiologist, stepped onto the bridge. "Captain, what we're dealing with here is something unprecedented. These aren't simple robots or AI constructs. They're biomechanical." Alina turned to face the doctor. "Explain." Dr. Chen's eyes gleamed with a mix of scientific fascination and unease. "These entities are a fusion of organic and mechanical components, but on a level far beyond anything we've ever encountered. The organic parts aren't just a few biological components. They're fully integrated living systems. And the mechanical parts, some of the technology is beyond our current understanding." A chill ran down Alina's spine. "Are you saying these things are alive?" "In a sense, yes," Dr. Chen nodded. "But their consciousness, if you can call it that, seems to be a hybrid of organic neural networks and advanced quantum computing. They're not individuals as we understand the term. They're more like nodes in a vast, interconnected network." The implications were staggering. Alina's mind raced, trying to process what this could mean for the galaxy. Do we have any idea where they came from? Who created them? Before anyone could answer, the ship's AI, ARIA, Advanced Responsive Intelligence Assistant, chimed in. "Captain, I've been analyzing the data from the captured units. There are anomalies in their base code that I find disturbing." Alina raised an eyebrow. It wasn't like ARIA to use terms like disturbing. "Go on." ARIA's holographic avatar, a sphere of swirling blue light, pulsed as she spoke. "Some of the underlying algorithms, they're familiar, too familiar. They bear striking similarities to early human AI research, specifically to projects that were abandoned centuries ago due to ethical concerns." A heavy silence fell over the bridge. Alina felt a knot forming in her stomach. "Are you saying these things are of human origin?" "Not exactly," ARIA replied. "The technology has clearly been developed far beyond those early experiments. But the foundation, yes, it appears to be based on human AI research." The implications were enormous. If these biomechanical entities were indeed based on human technology, it could mean that humanity's impact on the galaxy was far greater, and potentially far more dangerous, than anyone had realized. Before Alina could fully process this revelation, a priority communication came through. The holographic form of Arbor, the Galactic Council liaison, materialized on the bridge. "Captain Reyes," Arbor began, his tone grave. "The Council has convened an emergency session. Your presence is required immediately." Alina straightened her uniform. "Understood, liaison. We'll set course for Nexus Station at once." As Arbor's hologram faded, Alina turned to her crew. "Jack, you have the bridge. Dr. Chen, I want a full report on those biomechanical entities by the time we reach Nexus Station. Araya, continue your analysis. If there's any connection to human history, I need to know about it." The journey to Nexus Station was tense, filled with speculation and hurried preparations. When they finally arrived, Alina was escorted to the council chambers, where representatives from every major galactic species were assembled. The chamber fell silent as Alina entered. She could feel the weight of countless alien gazes upon her, a mix of awe, gratitude, and suspicion. Arbor's resonant voice broke the silence. "Captain Alina Reyes of the UES Unity, the Galactic Council extends its deepest gratitude for your actions in defense of Telos Prime. You and your crew have saved countless lives and prevented a catastrophic invasion of Council space." A murmur of agreement rippled through the chamber, but Elena could sense an undercurrent of tension. Arbor continued. However, the nature of the threat you encountered raises troubling questions. Questions that the Council believes humanity may be uniquely positioned to answer. Elena took a deep breath, steeling herself. Counselors, I assure you that the revelations about the possible human origins of this technology are as shocking to us as they are to you. Humanity stands ready to cooperate fully in investigating this threat. Ambassador Cathrak of the Volcrin leaned forward, his crystalline exoskeleton glinting menacingly. Pretty words, Captain. But can we truly trust them? If humans created this menace, even unknowingly, how can we be sure they won't create something worse? The chamber erupted in a cacophony of voices, some defending humanity, others calling for restrictions on human technology. Elena raised her voice to be heard above the din. Counselors, please, we don't have all the answers yet, but one thing is clear. This threat, whatever its origin, endangers us all. The unity was created as a symbol of what we can achieve when we work together. Now, more than ever, we need that unity. Her words seemed to have an effect, calming the heated debate. Arbor raised his branches for silence. Captain Rice speaks wisely. This crisis presents not just a threat, but an opportunity. An opportunity for all species to come together in the face of a common enemy. As the Council began to discuss plans for a joint task force to investigate the biomechanical entities, Elena's mind was already racing ahead. Whatever the source of this technology, whatever dark chapter of human history it might be linked to, she knew that the true test was yet to come. The galaxy stood on the brink of a new era, one that would challenge the very definitions of life, consciousness, and civilization itself. And humanity, for better or worse, was at the center of it all. As the council session continued, Elena received a priority message from the Unity. Dr. Chen had made a breakthrough in her analysis of the captured entities. The findings were shocking, hinting at a connection not just to human history, but to the very origins of life in the galaxy. The mystery was deepening, and Elena knew that the answers they sought might reshape the very foundations of galactic civilization. With a mixture of determination and trepidation, she prepared to lead humanity, and the entire Galactic Council, into an uncertain future. New horizons. The UVS Unity glided through the shimmering nebula, its advanced sensors probing the swirling gases for any sign of the mysterious signal that had led them to this uncharted region of space. On the bridge, Captain Elena Reyes stood before the main view screen, her expression a mixture of anticipation and concern. 6 months had passed since the Battle of Telos Prime and the shocking revelations that followed. In that time, the galaxy had changed dramatically. The Galactic Council, once skeptical of humanity's rapid ascension, now looked to Earth and its allies for leadership in the face of the biomechanical threat. Anything on sensors, ARI? Elena asked, her eyes never leaving the cosmic light show before them. The ship's AI responded, her holographic avatar pulsing softly. Negative, Captain. The nebula's radiation is interfering with our long-range scans. However, I am detecting unusual gravitational anomalies approximately 2.3 light-years ahead. Commander Jack Harper looked up from his station. Captain, those anomalies, they're consistent with the theoretical models for artificial wormholes we discovered in the ancient database. Elena's eyes widened. The ancient database had been their most significant discovery since unraveling the mystery of the biomechanical entities. Hidden deep within a derelict space station at the edge of known space, it contained fragments of knowledge from a long-lost civilization, one that might hold the key to understanding the true nature of their enemy. Take us in, nice and easy, Elena ordered. All hands, prepare for possible trans-dimensional transit. As the Unity approached the anomaly, the nebula seemed to part before them, revealing a sight that took Elena's breath away. A massive structure hung in space, its design an impossible blend of organic curves and crystalline geometries. At its center, a swirling vortex of energy pulsed with otherworldly light. By all the stars, breathed Dr. Ava Chen, who had joined them on the bridge for this mission. "It's beautiful." Before anyone could respond, a massive energy surge erupted from the structure. The Unity shuddered as it was caught in an invisible grip. "We're being pulled in," Jack shouted, his hands flying over the controls. "I can't break free." Elena gripped her command chair. "All hands, brace for transit. Area, full power to shields." The world seemed to twist and stretch around them as the Unity was drawn into the vortex. For a moment that felt like an eternity, reality itself seemed to fracture. Then, with a flash of blinding light, they were through. As the crew's vision cleared, a collective gasp echoed across the bridge. They found themselves in a vast chamber, impossibly large, its walls lined with technology beyond their comprehension. And at the center, Captain Araya's voice was hushed with awe. "I'm detecting thousands, no, millions of life signs, but they're unlike anything in our database." Before their eyes, shimmering forms began to coalesce. They were vaguely humanoid, but composed of pure energy, their bodies shifting and flowing like living light. One of the beings stepped forward, its voice resonating not through the air, but directly in their minds. "Welcome, children of Earth," it said. "We have been waiting a very long time for this moment." Elena stepped forward, her voice steady despite her racing heart. "I am Captain Elena Reyes of the United Earth Ship Unity." "Who? What are you?" The beam's form shimmered. "We are the progenitors, the first sentient species to arise in this galaxy. We have watched and guided the evolution of life for billions of years." Dr. Chen's eyes widened. "The progenitors. But the ancient database suggested you had vanished millions of years ago." "Not vanished," the being corrected. "Ascended. We evolved beyond the need for physical form, becoming beings of pure energy and thought. But our work was not complete." Another being stepped forward. "The biomechanical entities you encountered are our final creation, a fusion of organic life and advanced technology, designed to be the next step in galactic evolution." Elena felt a chill run down her spine. "But they attacked us. They've been terrorizing the galaxy." The first progenitor's form flickered with what might have been sadness, an unfortunate error in their base programming, one we hoped you would correct. "Us?" Jack asked, incredulous. "Why us?" "Because, Commander Harper," the being replied, "humanity possesses a unique combination of traits. Your adaptability, your creativity, your capacity for both logic and emotion. These are the keys to perfecting our creation." Elena's mind raced, trying to process the implications. "Are you saying that humanity's role, our destiny, is to guide the evolution of these biomechanical beings?" "Not just them," the progenitor answered. "All life in the galaxy. You stand at a crossroads, Captain Reyes. The choices you and your people make in the coming years will shape the future of countless civilizations." As the weight of this revelation settled over the crew, Elena felt a mixture of awe and trepidation. The responsibility was enormous, almost overwhelming. But as she looked around at her crew, human and alien alike, she saw in their eyes the same determination that had brought them this far. "We accept this responsibility," Elena said, her voice firm. "But we won't do it alone. The strength of humanity lies in our ability to work together, to find common ground with those different from ourselves. We'll face this challenge as we have all others, united." The progenitor's forms seemed to brighten. "Well spoken, Captain. You have taken the first step on a long journey. We will provide you with the knowledge you need, but the path you choose is your own." As the beings began to share their vast repository of knowledge, Elena turned to her crew. She saw in their faces a mix of emotions: fear, excitement, determination. They stood on the brink of a new era, one that would challenge everything they thought they knew about life, consciousness, and their place in the universe. "Well," Elena said, a small smile playing on her lips, "it looks like our mission just got a lot more interesting." Jack chuckled. "You could say that, Captain. So, what's our next move? Elena's gaze returned to the shimmering forms of the progenitors, her mind already racing with possibilities. First, we learn. Then, we return to the council. And after that, her smile widened, we start shaping the future of the galaxy. As the Unity's crew began to interface with the progenitors' vast stores of knowledge, Elena couldn't help but feel a sense of excitement. Humanity had come so far from its first tentative steps into space to this moment, standing at the threshold of cosmic evolution. Whatever challenges lay ahead, she knew that the human spirit, with its unique blend of curiosity, compassion, and determination, would rise to meet them. The journey that had begun with the construction of a single dreadnought had led them to the very foundations of life in the galaxy. And now, a new chapter was beginning, one in which humanity would play a central role in shaping the destiny of countless civilizations. As Elena looked out at the swirling energies of the progenitor's realm, she felt a profound sense of purpose. The future was unwritten, full of both peril and promise, but with unity, courage, and the indomitable human spirit, she knew they would face it head-on. The adventure, it seemed, was just beginning.